Hello everyone, let's solve this problem. We have k multiplied by k plus k equal to k times k times k. And this problem is going to give us two solutions. Okay, so let's go there, and the three of them are real solutions. Now let's work on this very quickly. K times k will give k squared plus k, and then k times k times k will give us k to the power of 3. And then this is the same thing as k to the power of 3 equal to k squared plus k. Okay, now take everything to the left so that we'll have k to the power of 3 minus k squared minus k equals 0. And now the next thing I'm going to do is to factor out k. So if k comes out, we'll have k squared minus k minus 1 in the brackets, and this is equal to 0. From here, we'll apply zero product rule so that k is equal to 0, or k squared minus k minus 1 is equal to 0. And then from here, we already know that k is equal to 0 is one of the solutions to this problem. Now, let us go after the other two solutions, so that if we get there, we will have this to deal with. We have k squared minus k minus 1 equals 0. This is a quadratic equation, and we are using formula method to solve this. A is equal to 1, the coefficient of k squared. B is equal to minus 1, the coefficient of k. And c is equal to minus 1, the constant, right? The formula for quadratic equation is, we are dealing with k, so I'm going to have k equal to minus b, positive or negative, and we have square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. From here, k will be equal to minus 1. Okay, so we have we have negative multiplied by negative 1. Now we'll explain why. We have negative in front of the b, and b itself is negative 1. So that's how we got negative, negative. Positive or negative. Then I'm getting over to here. We have b squared, which will be minus 1 squared, because b is minus 1. Then minus 4 times a, which is 1, times minus 1 for c. And the whole of this is over 2 times 1. Now let's take a step further. K will be equal to negative, negative is positive. So we have positive 1. Okay, plus or minus. Minus 1 squared is 1. Then minus 4 times 1 times minus 4 will give us plus 4. And the whole of this is over 2. Okay, now k will be equal to 1, positive or negative, square root of 5, and this is over 2. What does this mean? It means that we have k to be equal to 0 in the first place. Remember, this is now another solution for k, and this solution is 2 in 1. Now the second solution here now will be k equal to 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. This is our second solution for k. And then the third is k equal to 1 minus square root of 5 over 2. Now the question is, if we substitute these three solutions into the equation, are we going to have correct values? Now let's give it a try. Okay, so these are the three solutions that we have. And by the way, you can call this k1, k2, and k3, right? Now this is the original equation given to us. Let's substitute this into the problem. Now, if you put 0 into this equation, you will have 0 on both sides, meaning that 0 satisfies the equation. Now, let's try the value of k2. So, k2 is 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. Now, let me put that here. In place of k, I will have 1 plus square root of 5 over 2 multiplied by another k, which is 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. Now I add it. We have 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. Okay, so this is what we have. This is for the left hand side. Now let's multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5. 1 times square root of 5 will give us plus square root of 5. Then 5 square root of 5 times 1 will give us positive square root of 5. And then 5 root 5 times root 5 will give us plus 5. The whole of this is over 2. Then we're having plus 1 plus square root of 5. Remember, this is over 2. Okay? Now, remember we are still dealing with the left-hand side, right? Now, this will be 1 plus 5 will give 6. Then plus root 5 plus root 5 will give us 2 root 5. And the whole of this is over 2. The whole of this is over 2. And by the way, I can reduce this to a lower term because 6 is here and 2 is here. I can factor out 2 from there. Or let me take a step further so that I'll bring this here. We have 1 plus root 5, and this is over 2, right? Now we have the same denominator. By the way, I forgot to multiply 2 by 2, so that 2 by 2 will give us 4 underneath. So meaning that here is 4. Okay, now what's the LCM of 4 and 2? The LCM is 4. So I'm going to write that 4 over here. Then I go over. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Then multiply by what we have to be 6 plus 2 root 5, right? Then plus, we're going over there now. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 2 times root 5, we'll have 2 root 5. Okay, so that's from here. What do? We have 6 plus 4, 6 plus 2 rather, that will give 8. Then plus 2 root 5 plus 2 root 5 will give us 4 root 5. The whole of this is over 4. Now, let's take a step. 4 is here and 4 can be found in 8. So, factor out 4. We have 2 plus root 5. Right? And the whole of this is over 4. Now, 4 can cancel 4. And we are going to have 2 plus root 5. Now, this is what you have on the left-hand side. Now, what do we have on the right-hand side? Let's check it out. We have k times k times k. Okay, so that means on the right-hand side, I'm going to have 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, right? And then multiply by 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, then times 1 plus square root of 5 over 2. This is simple, isn't it? But then we are going to deal with 2 first, and then we move to the next. And by the way, our work is going to be easier for us because at some point we multiplied the 2 terms together. Okay, when we multiplied 1 plus square root of 5 over 2 times 1 plus square root of 5 over 2, what did we get? We got 6 plus 2 root 5 over 4. So I'm going to have 6 plus 2 root 5 over 4. So this is what you will get if you multiply these 2 terms together. Then we are going to multiply the whole of this by 1 plus square root of 5 over 2 again. Now let's go. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 6 times root 5 will give us 6 root 5. Root 2 times 1 will give us plus 2 root 5. And then root 5, 2 root 5 times this will give us plus 2 root 5 times root 5 to be 2 first, then multiply by 5 times root 5 will give us 5. This is for the numerator. Then for the denominator, we have 4 times 2, which will give 8. Right? Now let's take a step further. We have 6 plus 6 root 5 plus 2 root 5 will give us 8 root 5. Right? Then we have plus 10. The whole of this is over 8. Now, what do we do? 6 plus 8, 6 plus 10 rather, will give us 16 plus 8 root 5, and this is over 8. Now, what do I do? Factor out 8. If 8 comes out, in here I will have 2 plus, here 8 has already come out, and I'll have root 5. Now, the whole of this is divided by 8. So that's from here, this can now cancel this, and what we have is 2 plus root 5. Now, this is what we have on the right hand side, 2 plus root 5. Now, let's check what we got on the left hand side before. We got 2 plus root 5. Now, what does this mean? It means that our value for K2, which is equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2, it's very correct. We have tested K to be equal to 1, correct? And we've tested K2 to be equal to 1 plus root 5 over 2, correct. Now, try this yourself and be sure whether it satisfies the equation or not. Thank you for watching.